What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be diving into my first impressions of the PS5. Now, this video is going to be rather short, sweet, and to the point. I'm going to be talking about the specs, and I'm just going to be talking about what I think about the console and the controller overall. Later on down the line, I'll give you guys a more in-depth review after I've had the console for at least a year. And yes, I give you guys full permission to call me out if I have not reviewed the console again in a year's time. I need you guys to just be on my ass like, Ariel, you promised you'd do the review. Where's the review? Oh God, why am I talking like an old man? I need you guys to hold me accountable. I need to, because I am forgetful. It's probably through all that repressed emotion that I'm keeping down, just bubbled below the surface. Actually, did you know that? Fun psychological fact. If you repress your emotions, it can cause memory loss. But enough about our existential crises, let's get into the video. So I'm gonna list the specs right over here so you guys can see them clear as day or clear as night, depending on your vision. A full spec list for the PlayStation 5 is as follows. The CPU is an 8x Zen 2 cores at 3.5 Hz variable frequency. The GPU is a 10.28 teraflops, 36 CUs at 2.23 GHz variable frequency. The GPU architecture custom RDNA2. Memory interface is a 16GB GDDR6 256-bit. The memory bandwidth is 448 GB. Internal storage is custom 825 GB SSD. I/O throughout is 5.5 GB. Raw typical 8 to 9 GB compressed. Expandable storage NVMe SSD slot. External storage USB HDD support. Optical drive 4K UHD Blu-ray drive. Now, most of this review is going to be based around the controller because I feel like that is by far the most impressive part of the PS5. Yes, the console is beautiful and the way that the menu is set up is just eons better than anything I've ever seen from the PS4, and this I feel like is a true upgrade. Now, while I love my Xbox Series X, I am going to be calling them out on their BS a little bit, because while the Xbox Series X has quick resume, it has a lot of really cool features like the media share button and everything, it's not really a true upgrade if you think about it. When looking at the PS5, I see cosmetic updates. I see controller updates like you wouldn't believe with the haptic feedback. Holy crap. I see sound, performance, audio, just everything under the sun, all of the updates that I absolutely love to see. So when I look at the PS5 in comparison to the Xbox Series X, the PS5 wins hands down overall. I don't want any of the ponies or the Xbox or I don't want anybody coming into my comment section be like, Xbox sucks. No, we're not going to do that. Just because I give constructive criticism does not mean I am hating. I want you guys to understand that very clearly. What I love about the PS5 is that it's so fine-tuned. I believe that's the right word I want to use. There was another word I wanted to use, but it escaped me. The way that the menu is set up, the way that the feed looks so aesthetic with the way that it's laid out, the way that everything just looks, it looks so much more immersive. I feel like with the PS4, it looked very corpo style, very corporate, very like, okay, here's this, here's this. I felt like there was supposed to be an AI walking me through like a company project or something. And don't get me wrong, each console is going to be a better version of the next, but I feel like the PS5, besides the lovely design that we have here, this is the most intuitive and well-designed piece of technology I think I've ever seen when it comes to a dedicated console. Getting into the controller, because this is my favorite part of the entire system, it is a leap into the future that I never thought I would ever experience. Whereas with Xbox, it's, how do I even say this? The controller is nice, but there's nothing that really made it stand out from the Xbox One. Like, for example, I was playing Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song. Some of the vibrations of that controller were so incredibly violent, and I know I've said this in my review even, were so incredibly violent, I had to put the controller on the bed because I started to get motion sickness from it. It wasn't something of where like there was a right amount of vibration. It didn't look like even in the menu section I could control or kind of, what's the right word to use here, mitigate the levels of the vibration that were happening. It was just like, oh, okay, so this is the level of vibration that I'm going to be feeling inside my controller. That way I can just hurl. So that's a no-go for me. I feel like the vibrations of the controller of the PS5 are not overbearing to the point of where you're getting motion sickness, but they let you know just how it would be in real life. Like if you're pulling the bow of a bow and arrow, you feel that tension. You're feeling that tension as if you were to feel it as if you were pulling an actual bow and arrow. Now, granted, bad comparison. I know, Ariel, you're not actually like pulling a bow and arrow, but that tension that you feel in there, I've never felt that. Even with the PS4, it wasn't to that extent. Like, they keep getting better and better and better with their technological updates with their controllers. And can we, for a moment, please talk about the look and sleekness of this thing? This is beautiful. This is a work of art, okay? I'm not here to bash on Xbox. I'm really not. I'm here to give constructive critique. The controller for the Xbox looks exactly the same as what they had for Xbox One. Okay, I'm probably gonna get it in a different color, probably white or gray or something like that. But with this, you see a clear difference from the PS4 controller to the PS5 level that goes up each console. There should be a slight variance or a slight change in the models and how they look and how they're structured. That's just me. Going from what the PS4 looked like to this rotor, this tower over here. I feel like a lot of people didn't like it cosmetically, but I absolutely love it. I feel like it's such an innovative way to present a console. Now, another thing that I really want to point out is the magnetic feature that you have right over here. Instead of having something where you click it in, it's just a magnet. I love that. Xbox, please, if you're ever in the future thinking of redesigning your controllers, please make them so they don't use batteries anymore. Make them so they can be rechargeable like the PlayStation. I really love the fact that it is rechargeable, because let's face it, we're either plugging our controllers into our computer, we're using a wireless controller that doesn't need batteries, or we're just playing on a PC. Like, I don't feel why there's this need for batteries and controllers. But that, again, that's just me. That's a very nitpicky preference. All the settings, everything that you need to do to set up the PlayStation, it's very intuitive. It's very straightforward, much like it was with the PS4. I feel like the PS4, it took me a little bit longer to set up because it wasn't as fast as the PS5. The speed in which this thing goes is unbelievable. But yeah, again, I will say how much I love the magnetic feature of this controller, the way it just slides in, it just connects, and that's it. You don't have to worry about it clicking in or any of that. The hardware, again, it really speaks for itself. It looks gorgeous. It has such a slimming, futuristic look that it makes any game room, any place that you're really in your house, really stand out. Even when I was playing Uncharted 4 on it, the movements, everything, it was absolutely wonderful. Like, it was so smooth. It was so quick. Like, the way that the reaction time with the controller, it didn't feel delayed. Because I feel like there was a certain bit of a delay with the PS4 controller when I was playing certain games. And I don't know, I feel like it was with certain games. It wasn't with all games. I never experienced that kind of a delay with Bloodborne, but I did experience it with certain other games. Like, I did experience that with Tormented Souls a little bit. With Detroit Become Human, there was a slight delay. I don't know what that was about. Maybe my controller was just almost out of battery. Not really sure what that is. But you guys, that was my first impressions of the PS5. If you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. I make videos here every day on YouTube. This one's a little bit of a later upload. It was really, really busy today. It's starting to rain and pour and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like the hurricane is kind of just dwindling here for a little bit, being like, hello, I see you. But with that being said, stay casually nerdy, you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. See ya.